Hey everybody, welcome to eachother.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Highlander Rack's destination 4-bike rack carrier here on the back of our 2020 Toyota Highlander. So if you guys are looking for a way of giving yourself a very nice little 4-bike rack platform, the destination is definitely a go-to in my mind. So I will say it's a little busy looking. It's not going to look the best in your vehicle. It's not going to be the most streamlined. However, I think once you start seeing how well the job it does of securing your bikes, you're going to become a bigger fan just like I have. So at the very end here, you do have some nice little reflectors. What's great about that, I don't think they're standard enough across the industry. I love that they're on there. Lets people know exactly where we are. That way us and our family don't have any accidents when we're coming home, whether it be from a late night riding or a long road trip, whatever the case might be. Nice that we have that little peace of mind of people knowing where we are. Now you're going to have 35 pounds bike rack weight capacity per bike on here, which is going to be excellent. Going to make sure you can go ahead and get most of your standard bikes on here with no problem, and even up into your mountain bike range. Now with this guy, it's pretty versatile. So we have our cradles here. Now these guys aren't really super useful, I would have to say, in my mind. As you guys can see, we do have these two little holes right here. You can go ahead and, pardon me, actually change around where this guy is, so that's actually pretty nice. That's better for when you have your shorter bikes that you're bringing along. And like I said, maybe you got the kiddos with you as well. Go ahead and shorten that down for your shorter wheelbases. Now, of course, your longer ones are probably going to stay fixed on that position, but you still have a little bit of versatility there. Where you're really getting a lot of versatility is this center mass here. So you guys can see we do have frame contact here today. That's going to make it to where we can't transport our carbon frame bikes. However, we're going to have no trouble with any other type of bike, in my opinion, whether it be women's bikes, step-through bikes, kiddos bikes, as you actually can go ahead and rotate this 360 degrees, allowing you to have your vertical posting, your horizontal, your diagonal, and even your horizontal posting in no time at all. All you got to do, shift that around. And one thing I really like too, how much height variance we have on here. So like I said, those step-through bikes are going to be fine on there. It makes it really easy to go ahead and actually get all of your handlebars appropriately spaced. That way you can get all 4 bikes on here with no trouble at all. So that's definitely something that's great. On the back here, you are seeing just a little bit of interaction with your bikes. Now as you get 4 bikes on here, and if you are having a little bit of a taller one, you might start seeing some interaction with these tail lights here. One thing that's great still, we're having a lot of distance between our brake lights and our bike. So we're still going to have emittance of that light. People are going to know when we're braking. Of course, you have your top cowling, which is great. So I don't think we're going to be worried about people not seeing where we're going. It's definitely something to kind of consider though as you load up 4 bikes on here. The other thing to keep in mind is going to be your backup camera. If you have 4 bikes on here, you're going to lose it all. And we'll kind of look at it later when we fold it up, but I think you're probably going to lose most of your visibility with that backup camera, even when you have this folded up and no bikes on it. So that's going to be something that kind of happens with almost any 4-bike rack carrier. You are putting a lot of objects back here, and that's going to block a lot of your vision. To get this bike released though, all we have to do is simply press in on our strips here. That gray lever allows us to take out our ratchet strap. You have this nice little eye hole too to go ahead and pull that all the way through. And I really like this rubber mount here on the strip. That can be placed between your rims and your strip to prevent any kind of damage, which is excellent. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process on the other side, but that brings me to my last hold on my bike. What I like to do for this guy is to go ahead and wrap an arm around it. That way I can go ahead and actually hold it in place, press in this lever, and then have my offhand actually push it all the way out until I'm ready to release it. Then I go ahead, let that handle, that cradle hang off, simply grab my bike and walk it away. And there we are, ready to ride. Now mounting it, pretty much the same little process. Of course, the only thing to watch out for, these strips like to get caught underneath your tires. So one thing you can do, go ahead, dip your tire underneath, then catch it, then set it in. That can be helpful. Or one thing I like to do too with these guys is simply just flip them around underneath it. Makes that really easy to do, and then your strip's not in your way. And then you can bring it across inside your rim and get it tightened down in no time. Now, one thing that kind of stinks about this guy, not stinks, but it's just kind of a limitation of it, is that it can't tilt away. So if you're looking for something that can tilt away your bike on there, you're going to have to start looking at some premium options. Now, you can go straight to the very end of it. You can go straight up to the Quad Envy. That becomes an excellent little way of tilting away, and you get a lot of other great features with it. However, it definitely is going to be a little more expensive. So that's kind of where this guy is really awesome, right? It's lightweight, it's not too expensive, and we still get 4 bikes on there. So the cons just kind of come innately with what it is. So to get this down and out of the way to actually access our cargo, all we have to do, open this up, get this guy spun out a little bit. That's going to release our cam lever here, allowing that to go down and allowing our mast to also get out of the way for ourselves. What I like to do here as well is take my extra strip here, simply slot it around my mast once these guys cooperate with me, and then I can go ahead and tighten it up, and that's going to hold that center mast from popping up. Now I can go ahead, pop open my hatch here though, and that's going to allow me to get access to my bike helmets, my coolers, anything else I might need in the back of our Highlander here. What becomes really nice too, you have this little space to walk in, maybe sit down. I'm not going to do it because I have a mic pack on me, but go ahead and change your shoes here. Nice little space to go ahead and relax before or after your ride, which is definitely awesome. So love that we still have access to the hatch. Now you do have to drop that mast down, but as you guys saw, that really takes no time at all. Now a couple things we want to keep in mind, what kind of distances we're working with here and going to be our clearances here. So let's go ahead and see from the back of the vehicle. Well, let's go ahead and get our clearance first because we're going to fold this up in just a second. From the ground to the very end of our carrier here, that's putting us at 20 3/4 of an inch. Now that's a pretty good clearance. You can see the destination has a nice solid rise throughout it as well, and that's doing a great job of making sure we're not having any contact with the ground. Now keep in mind, as those front wheels go up, the back will go down, and so will your hitch mounted accessories, so that's definitely something to kind of watch yourself. But with us being so up and out of the way, I don't think we're going to have any issues. Now the other big one is going to be how much length we're adding onto our Highlander. Now already somewhat of a longer vehicle, so keep in mind we are adding 4 bikes on here. Definitely going to be a lot of room. From the back of the bumper here today to the very end, that's putting you at 40 1/2 inches to the very end. So we're not stuck with that though. This is going to be your transport mode, right? We actually can fold this up. Maybe we want to pull this in the garage, give ourselves a little more maneuverability. To do that, we're going to simply bring ourselves to the middle here. We're going to have a pin and clip system. I'm going to pull that clip and then unthread this pin with these nice little knobs here, or a knob I should say. That's going to allow me to bring my mast up. Now we're not going to go all the way. There actually is going to be a stopping point that you want to realign here. So once you find it, it's almost like just straight up. Then you can go ahead, reinsert your bolt, or your pin I should say, and get it threaded down. One thing I really like about this knob, it's large, it's not hard to move, and I'm actually getting good contact on it. Even if your hand was wet or cold, I think you'd have an A-OK time really securing this down. And what I like about this, I can really get this nice and tight. And what that's going to allow me to do, have very little play in this maneuver. So all we got to do, tighten that up, and there we have it, little to no play at all. So that's going to save us a lot of room, which is great. Let's go ahead and look at that together. From the rear of our vehicle here, from the bumper to the end, that's putting you right about 13 1/2 to the inside post here, while your wings are keeping you at about 16 1/4 of an inch. So already cutting down over more than half of that length. But that is because we have 4 bikes on this guy, right? That's kind of what we're working with. On the inside here, you guys can see we have a 2-inch shank here today, allowing ourselves to utilize our 2-inch hitch receiver. On the inside of that, you are seeing a threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt. These guys are excellent as they're going to take all that shake and play out. I'm about to show you guys that in a second. You also do have this nice little locking cord here. Now I really do like that we can go ahead and secure this to our carrier when we leave it unattended. That's excellent. And you guys, you can see that anti-rattle bolt does a great job bringing this in line all to one system, making for a nicer, smoother ride for ourselves, our bike rack, but especially our bikes, which is huge, especially as you start getting 4 bikes on here, guys. That definitely is something to watch out for. Now, I will say, great that we have a locking core for our hitch carrier. However, we don't have a way of actually securing our bikes to our carrier. I would highly recommend grabbing yourself a cable lock. There are some available here at eTrailer.com. That way you can go ahead and be sure that your bikes stay on your vehicle when you leave them unattended. Overall, guys, I think the destination is a great way, especially if you just want 4 bikes on the back of your vehicle. You're going to be hard-pressed to find something that gives you the bang for your buck that this thing does. And what's really nice, too, it is mainly plastic fantastic, so it is going to be lightweight, going to be really easy to take on and off as well. You're not going to hate yourself when you have to get it off on those weekday drives. It's going to be really easy to do that, and it doesn't take up too much room either. The biggest thing is going to be that shank, taking up just a little bit of room. But other than that, I think it's a great little system. I did want to check up this back hook camera, and yeah, I think we are going to lose a lot of our visibility just because most of our main housing is going to be right there where that main backup camera is going to be lying. Now you have a little bit of room and gaps to see through, which is great. But keep in mind, it's going to be impacting a lot of that vision. Overall, though, guys, it's going to be a great way of giving yourself a way of getting you and your family to your destination. Other than that, I think about does it for our look at the Howrack's Destination 4 Rack carrier here on the back of our 2020 Toyota Highlander. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Now we're going to go ahead and take it on our test course. First, we'll start with the Slaloms. This is going to show the side-to-side action. It's kind of going to mimic the movements that you'll see whenever you're driving down the road normally. Now we'll have the alternating speed bumps. This is going to be more so like the uneven roads and some of that uneven terrain you might be traveling on, and see how it holds up.